Find a comfortable position, either seated with your back straight and hands in your lap, or laying flat on your back with your hands by your side. Once you are comfortable, close your eyes and slow your breathing. Take 3 deep breaths, each time focusing on noticing and relaxing any part of your body that is still holding tension. Find yourself now on a hike through a thickly wooded forest. You don't know where you are or where you are going, as there is no trail in sight. But you feel safe and calm because the forest around you is so very beautiful and the weather is perfect. You are neither cold nor hot, and you hear the song of all the woodland creatures in your vicinity. As you walk, you relish the feeling of falling leaves brushing past you, carried on a soft breeze that tickles your skin. These leaves fall on the ground and create a delightful crunch under your hiking boots. Begin making a lazy game of spotting the various wildlife as you walk. Squirrels and birds and chipmunks. What else can you see and hear around you? Now, hear the trickle and bubble of a nearby stream and make your way toward the sound. Once you find it, you relax even more as you listen to the sound of the gently rushing water. You decide to follow it and see where it leads. You find yourself standing at the base of a large cliff and waterfall, and you take several more deep breaths, breathing in the moist air and basking in the impressive sight. The roar of the rushing water seems to cleanse you of any lingering tension or stress. But just as you begin to contemplate taking a dip in the waterfall's pool before you, you hear the rumble of thunder in the distance and notice that the skies are growing darker. You decide to press on with your hike in hopes of finding shelter. It begins to rain, and you can see lightning flashing, lighting up the woods. The thunder cracks a few moments after the flashes, so you know that you are safe from being struck, for now. But you still need to find a safe, dry place to ride out the storm. You climb up the rock face beside the waterfall and decide to keep following the water to stay on your current path. Once you've made it to the top, you pick up your pace. The skies are getting even darker, and the rain is falling harder. Just as you notice that the thunder is happening immediately after lightning strikes, you catch a glimpse of a small hut in the distance up ahead. You wonder if it could be a safe place for you to take shelter. Approaching, you feel a strange mix of curiosity and fear forming about this hut. Breathe into it. It's small and in an advanced state of disrepair, so you wonder if the roof would even truly be intact enough to provide shelter. You notice vines growing all over it, climbing up from the foundations and up toward the roof, where larger, odd shapes appear. Stepping closer, you see that there is an entire pumpkin patch growing on the roof, and behind it, small but steady plumes of smoke rising from what must be a chimney. Someone must be in there. The smoke drifts in your direction, bringing with it an alluring mixture of aromas. Wood smoke, sweet pipe tobacco, dried herbs, roasting veggies, and a spicy broth. Your stomach rumbles, and you feel yourself drawing closer, even if you're nervous about what or who you might find inside. You see candlelight flickering behind a seemingly ancient glass window, and the bundle of sticks making up the door creak open at your approach. At first, there is only darkness to greet you through the opening of the door, but then you see a frail hand extending out in greeting, and a croaky voice whispering, "Please, come in and shelter from the storm. Be my guest." You cannot refuse their invitation now, especially as the storm continues to pick up and there is no other shelter in sight. So, you reach out and grasp the extended hand and step up and into the safety of the hut. As the door swings closed behind you and the candles light up the dark space you've stepped into, the frail hand around yours tightens its strong grip, and you come face to face with your host. She looks like every scary witch you read about in fairy tales and myths as a child. You recognize her instantly as the being you pictured lurking under your bed at night or in your closet, and it seems she recognizes you as well. Her eyes are glowing in the candlelight, and she lets out a gleeful cackle at your arrival. Instead of fear, you feel a deep knowing that this monstrous woman is a part of your own psyche and is not going to hurt you. She is glad to finally have time to commune with you, and she welcomes you warmly into her abode. Take a few deep breaths as you adjust to the warmly lit little room. You are completely calm, completely relaxed. As you feel your clothing dry and the chill in your bones begins to thaw, you take in your surrounding. All around you are beeswax candles melting and dripping down shelves and mantels. The furnishings are bare and mostly appear to be handmade from wood. Strings of drying herbs hang overhead and along the walls on every side. And there are jars and baskets on every surface with additional dried herbs and mysterious substances. There is a modest fireplace with a massive cast iron cauldron hanging from the mantel, being heated underneath by the fire. You hear the liquid within it bubbling, and you step closer to examine its contents and breathe in its intoxicating fragrance. The strong hand of the witch halts you before you get too close, and she wiggles a finger at you to say that it is not quite ready yet. She has been waiting for you to add the last few ingredients that it needs. She leads you away from the delicious smelling concoction and ushers you over to her small table instead. Urging you to take a seat, she scurries off into a dark corner of her home, and you hear the clamor of things being grabbed from shelves. You take this moment alone for another deep breath. Breathing in all the comforting new things in your environment, and breathing out any lingering nerves. While your shelter and its host are creepy and mysterious, there is something familiar and comforting about being here with the witch. You take one more deep breath, feeling the smooth surface of the solid, handmade wooden table with your hands, gazing at the various herbs around you to see which ones you can identify with your mind's eye, and relishing the warmth and amazing scent from the witch's bubbling cauldron. You hear a cackle of victory from the witch, and she steps back into the light with her arms full of tools and herbs. She begins to spread them on the table before you. You see various containers of ingredients, an old wooden ladle, and a massive book bound in a strange material. She begins flipping through the pages and scratching her warty chin, occasionally looking up into your eyes with curiosity before turning back to her tome. You glance at the pages as they flip by, noticing some unnerving words and illustrations. You see many pages on poison, curses, and evil spirits. You hope that she doesn't decide to linger too long on any of those. She finally asks for your help because this potion is being made for you. What do you need right now? You glance around at the few labels adorning her apothecary jars, and you see some bizarre names like Eye of Newt and Heart of Bat. And the witch sees the uncertainty in your eyes. She begins to make suggestions, and you take the ingredients that you feel called to. She offers cinnamon and nutmeg for success, mugwort for dreams, coffee grounds for luck, basil for prosperity, chamomile and lavender for peace and tranquility, rose petals for love, black pepper for banishing, calendula for healing, catnip for happiness, chili peppers for passion, garlic cloves for health and protection, ginger root for power, lemon balm for compassion, mint for energy, nasturtium for creativity, parsley for strength, passion flower for friendship, and rosemary for memory and purification. As each herb you need in your life right now is sprinkled into the bubbling cauldron, you see the liquid change color and the scent changes as well. It now glimmers and sparkles with the colors you like best, and it's finally ready. The witch takes her time-worn ladle and scoops the powerful elixir into a bottle and gives it to you. You swirl it around in your hands, watching the shimmering liquid up close, feeling the warmth on your skin, and sensing the power it contains, knowing that this is just what you need most in your life right now. She tells you that just carrying it with you will make it last as long as you need it to, and that there's nothing more you will have to do to get the positive benefits from it. However, she also scoops the ladle back into her cauldron one more time and offers you a tiny sip if you dare to try it. Not knowing how all of these ingredients will taste together, you still lean forward to take the ladle from her hands. As you bring this wooden spoon to your lips, you see the familiar, monstrous face cackling at you one last time. The delicious potion hits your lips, and the powerful, positive energy floods your body, filling your vision with a shimmering light that you feel from down in your toes and surging up through the top of your head. You begin to wiggle those toes and fingers and roll your shoulders and wrists and neck and open your eyes, knowing that you now carry with you the magical potion needed to have the best possible day.